All right, boys and girls. And every time I say, I'm not going to say that, but here we are.
I know.
In today's Snack and Chat, I'm joined by one of my very best friends, the Ryan Michael Golden, someone whose journey has quietly changed the course of my own. A few years ago, we sat down and talked
Hold on.
about...
Am I supposed to look at the camera or look at you? Or where do you want me to look?
Camera.
Got it. All right,
I mean, you can keep your eyes on me if you want.
All right, round two. Ready?
Cameron
Go.
Fix. Years ago, or a few years ago, I should say, we sat down and talked about life, goals, and the idea that I couldn't shake. What if I signed up for a race? At the time, it felt more like a dream than a plan. Ryan doesn't just run races. He shows or has shown me what's possible through his dedication to 5Ks, 10Ks, and even half marathons, and even the dedication he gives to our gym. He has become living proof that consistency, courage, and belief can take you further than fear ever will. That one conversation that we had, and I think that conversation was at one of the 5Ks that Sarah and I ran.
It was a Gulfport High.
That one conversation turned into action. I signed up for a race, then another, and before I knew it, those finish lines became part of my own story as well. In today's episode, we're going to talk about friendship, inspiration, and how sometimes the people closest to us help see a version of ourselves that we haven't even met yet. Ryan's success didn't just motivate me, it gave me permission to try, and as we know, the rest is history. So Ryan, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
So as we said, we've known each other for about 2.5, close to 3 years, and most people that know us, see us out and about, they think we've known each other our whole lives, and that's just how we both have that personality that it just takes one time and we're friends.
Really, what it boils down to is I'm afraid that Michael's going to beat me up because he's bigger than me and his hands are bigger than me. So I just slip him $20 every so often for him to be my friend. So.
The secret's out, kids.
And adults too. Don't forget about adults.
Idiot. Why did I want this episode with Ryan? Well, I started thinking, and when I started talking to Ryan about completing or creating this Snack and Chat, I started thinking, what am I going to talk about? Am I going to talk about just my weight loss journey? Am I going to talk about races? What am I going to talk about? I started thinking back. I think I've completed over 30 races, and I want to say about 10, 15, maybe even 20 of those races have been with you one way or another.
I think so.
And I was like, I should have the one that inspired me, that pushed me, literally, pushed me to do it myself, and that's why you're here.
Well, I appreciate that. I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
the opportunity.
So that first conversation a few years ago, where the races came up. So Ryan, do you remember the day that we talked about me wanting to sign up for a race? Now, we're going to give them the G version. We're not going to give them the R-rated version. What was going through your head at that time?
No, I do remember that day. I remember it was yesterday because remember we just met each other and we were running the 5K. The weather was awful. It was so hot. It was so humid, so muggy. And there was another young lady who did boot camps with us. And I was thinking in my egotistical self being like, I'm going to get first place overall. Oh no, honey. She ate my lunch. But once she finished, I was so embarrassed to see her. I turned around to come find Michael and Sarah and felt like it was like, you know what? This is my calling. Is I've done enough races where I've hit my goals, I've hit my times, I've hit my PRs. Frankly, it does nothing for me. I would much rather help somebody else reach their goals, help somebody else push themselves to the limit so that they hopefully will feel the same satisfaction as I do and continue to do after each and every race.
Yep. And I remember that race in Gulfport that we were doing. You came back, you jogged with Sarah. You were trying to jog with me too, and I remember looking at you alone.
That was when Michael was mean.
Yeah.
Like, he was really mean. And now it's more so we've morphed into Michael's a freaking superstar. He is a superhero where it doesn't matter what we say or when we walk the bridge or I'm like, come on, Michael, let's run a little bit. All right, fine. That was before. The new Michael's like, how far are we going? Oh, we're gonna go 4 miles? What, 6.2? Great, let's do it. We have the time to do it. So He's probably one of the strongest people I know, but there again, people that are viewing this, you already know these things. And Michael, give me that $20.
Yeah, I'll give you that 20 back. And we have this thing where sometimes Ryan and I'll text each other on a Sunday morning well, normally it is on Sunday morning.
mornings,
We're going to
yeah.
do 5 at 5, which is 5 miles at 5 a.m. And like Ryan just said, that 5 miles is really, 6.2 miles, 6.1 miles by the time it's all said and done. And so we're not going to change it to 6 at 6. We're going to keep it at 5 and just do a little over 5. Going right along. How we
We're doing good on time.
So Ryan, what got you running in the first place?
Well, I was going through what I think most people go through is family issues. I was actually going through a divorce at the time, and my son was probably 3 or 4, and my therapist goes, "Why don't you get into running?" I said, "But I have a son and he's little. Well, why don't you push him?" And I was like, so he's like, "Here's a 5K, sign up for it, see how you do." I loved it. And that morphed into more 5Ks pushing. That morphed into me being a runner that was noticed within the community. And sometimes it wasn't for the right reasons. I can't tell you how many stroller tires I blew from hitting a corner a little too sharply and pow. But no, it was one of those things where it's like I would run 5Ks with my son, then I would do some races where I would do them by myself. And it's just something that I enjoy. Even now, I'll throw on my headphones and go 14 miles. It's nobody's business and just love life. So it morphed from a 5K to a 10K, and then it's, what about a half marathon? I love half marathons. That is my distance. I've done 3 fulls. I've done probably over 100 halves, and they're fun for me. They're rewarding, they're fun, and frankly, the after parties afterwards are the best for a half marathon.
It was pretty good this
This one was solid.
It was cold, but it was solid. So going back to your first 5Ks and 10Ks, did you ever have a moment that you wanted to quit?
Oh, no, definitely. Just mentally. I knew physically that I could do it because I still kept in shape after college, and I would more weightlifting, do more on the elliptical or on a treadmill, and not really actually run outside. But it was one of those things where, frankly, and people will tell you, running's a love-hate relationship. For
Yes.
me, it's an absolute love, and it's something that I'm good at. I hate to sound egotistical, but I'm good at it, and it's something that I enjoy, and it's something that I feel is a gift for me. And not only does it help me physically, but mentally, it just frees my mind. And like I said, I can just go out and do my business and call it a day.
I think we're about running out of time. So I think we're going to have to do a kids part 2. But I will end this with, Ryan never pushed. He pushed me, but he only pushed me because he wanted to show me that I could do it. It was possible to sign up for that 5K, 10K, 15K, and even now a half marathon. And I'm trying my hardest to get out of doing them, but I sent him just a couple of weeks ago a race that it would be awesome to do next year, and it's a 4-state. It's a half marathon in every state, in 4 states. What was it? 1 day? So it's
4 half marathons, 4 days.
I don't know if we're ever going to get that done, but it is a goal. Until next time.